Why did my helper's grandson destroy the book his grandma bought him as a gift? In a moment, you'll hear the surprising story. I'm so happy you're here with me again. Let me say this first. Just by choosing to watch this video, you deserve a medal. Really, you chose to learn how to do good for your child. That tells me you are a mom with a heart of gold. Before we start, hi everybody, and welcome to my channel. Hi, I'm Esti. I'm a parenting coach, a children's author, and a bibliotherapist. Before we dive in, I have something special for you. It's my ebook, How to Heal Children's Trauma Through Stories. Inside, you'll discover gentle strategies you can start using right away to nurture confidence, calm, and connection with your child. The link is right below this video. Today, we'll dive into one of the most powerful topics in parenting: how to use stories to give our children positive encouragement. I want to tell you a true story from my home. A kind woman works for me. She has a big heart, always smiles, and is always happy to help. She really admires the way I work with children. She watches every little thing I do: how I speak to kids, how I answer when they are upset, how I use words to lift them up. She notices, remembers, and later tries to use it with her grandkids. One day, she looks at my bookshelf. She stops, runs her fingers slowly over the covers, and then her eyes land on one book. It looks simple, but to me, it's a masterpiece. She asks, "What is this book?" I smile and say, "It's a book about feelings." To me, it's brilliant. The book has short stories about one child, and each story, the child feels a different feeling: sadness, joy, anger, excitement, disappointment. At the end of the book, there are pages with faces that show each feeling. Every face is like a little map for a feeling inside. I explain. The goal of a book like this is to help children know what they feel, to give a name to those colors inside the heart. Because when a feeling is formless, with no name, a child feels flooded. They don't know what's happening to them. But once they have words, once they can say, "I'm angry" or "I'm hurt," they are already halfway to calm. They are not locked inside a storm. They have a way to let the feeling out safely. I see her eyes shine. "Wow," she says. "This is amazing. This is exactly what I wanted for my grandkids." That same day, on her way home, she stops at a bookstore. She doesn't wait even one day. She buys the book and tells herself, "This will be the best gift for my grandkids." A few days later, she comes back. She says, "Esti, I must tell you, I sat with my grandson, we looked through the book together, I showed him the feeling faces." She tells me how she points to the angry face, then the disappointed face, then the hurt face, and says to him, "This, and this, not okay." Then she points to other faces, joy, love, gratitude, and says, "This, and this, okay." I listen. She thinks she did something very educational. But inside, I feel uneasy. Then something surprising happens. A few weeks later, she comes back, a bit embarrassed. She says, "Do you know what happened? The book disappeared. We looked all over the house." In the end, I found out my grandson hid it. He put it in a secret place and will not tell us where. He refuses. When I hear this, it hurts, but I also think the child followed his healthy instincts. The book that was supposed to give him words, space, and comfort now sounds different to him. Instead of using the book to make room for his real feelings, to lift him up, and to show support and understanding, it was used in the opposite way. Why would he love the book if grandma says, "When you feel this or that, you are not okay. Only when you feel this or that, you are okay. There is no room in my heart for what you truly feel." I want to say something very clear. There is no such thing as bad feelings. There are comfortable feelings and uncomfortable feelings. There are easy feelings and hard feelings. But every feeling is just a feeling. Not good,
Not bad. The real question is, what do we do with it? How do we guide it? Do we give it space to come out safely, or do we push it down? This child felt it in his heart. The way the book was used did not hug his soul. It closed on him. So he pushed the book away.
This story shows a very important point. Stories are powerful tools. Sometimes we think a story is just for fun before bedtime. But a story is like a key. It can open a closed heart, soften hard places, bring new hope, and make a child feel stronger. But if we use the story the wrong way, it can also shrink a child. It can make a child feel small, not good enough, or even sad and stuck. That's the beauty and the responsibility. Like any strong tool, it all depends on the hands that hold it. Think about a kitchen knife. In good hands, you make a colorful salad and a healthy meal. In careless hands, someone gets hurt. Stories are the same. In caring hands, they heal. In harsh hands, they hurt. We see this in history too. Think about Harriet Beecher Stowe, a small woman, a mother of 7, who wrote Uncle Tom's Cabin. It wasn't just a story for fun. It was a brave voice against slavery in America. It touched millions of hearts and made people see what they did not want to see. It said that Abraham Lincoln met her, shook her hand, and said, "So you're the little woman who wrote the book that started this great war." Think about it. Written words, imagined characters, a strong plot, and the result? A change in the mind of a whole nation, a social shift. A book that shook America and helped plant the seeds to end slavery. So if one story could move countries, change politics, and spark a revolution, imagine what a small story can do inside the heart of a 6-year-old or a 10-year-old. A child listening to a bedtime story, a warm voice of a mom, a character they love. That can be the moment a lonely child feels, "I'm not alone." It can be the first spark of belief in themselves. Stories are not just stories. They are the language of the heart, a soft thread between imagination and real life, between past and future, between a parent and a child. To understand the power of a story, let's take a simple look at the brain. The left brain likes logic, order, facts, and words. It plans and checks. The right brain loves senses, pictures, big ideas, and feelings. It reacts fast. It connects, imagines, and feels. When the left brain hears facts, it works slowly and carefully. When the right brain hears a picture, like the forest was dark and wet, and the steps crunched on the dry leaves, the right brain wakes up fast. The child can almost hear the crunch, see the dark, and smell the wet air. That's why stories go so deep. They do not argue with the mind. They touch the heart. Long before we had shelves and books, people sat around fires and listened to stories about courage, danger, kindness, and faith. Stories passed on wisdom and lit inner fires. Even today, when a child runs from school and says, "Mom, do you know what happened today?" That's not a report. That's a story. Our memories are wrapped in stories. A story is not only a message, it's a journey. We don't just learn information, we feel it. Let's get practical. How do we use stories to lift a child? So first, tell a story. Choose a story about kindness, sharing, helping, or being a friend. It can be a classic Bible story, like Rebecca giving water to Eleazar and even to his camels. Or a simple modern picture book with a kind hero. Next, wait for a real-life moment. Don't push the lesson right after the story. Wait a day or two. Let life bring you a moment. The third and most meaningful tactic is this phase. Link the action to the story. Your daughter brings her sister a cup of water. Say, "This reminds me of Rebecca giving water. What a kind heart." Your son shares his toy with his little brother. Say, "This reminds me of the turtle who let his friends under his umbrella." Your goal is not to say, "You are Rebecca." That's too big and not believable. Your goal is to build a small bridge. This reminds me of. Then the child thinks, these big values are not only for heroes, they live in me too. I can do it.
And here is a few everyday examples. 1. Your daughter invites a lonely classmate to sit with her at lunch. I love what you did. It reminds me of the character who made space for a new friend. 2. Your son helps set the table without being asked. This reminds me of the boy in yesterday's story who did a small kindness on his own. You did that today. 3. Your little one hugs you after a hard day. This reminds me of the girl who showed love to her mom. You remind me of her. When we connect like this, softly, simply, without preaching, the child feels close, not judged, seen. They feel part of a good story. Now, I want to emphasize important tips. What not to do: don't use stories to scold. See how the hero was good and you weren't? Don't compare your child straight to the big heroes. It won't work and may push them away. Do build a small bridge. This reminds me of, do give praise that connects the big value to the small action they just did. I want to pause and tell you, well done. Think about it. You are not just getting through the day. You are learning, growing, and trying to understand your child's heart more deeply. That is not simple. Every mom wants good for her children, but not every mom stops to ask, how can I do it better? You are doing that. You're here. You're asking. That shows a big heart, true responsibility, and a vision to raise children who feel loved and valued. Remember to download for free my gift for you, the books How to Heal Children's Trauma Through Stories. I poured my heart into it. If you haven't downloaded it yet, now is the time. The link is in the description. It can change how you see everyday moments with your child. In the next video, we'll talk about positive encouragement for you. Not for the kids, for you. Because if you don't get encouragement, if no one sees you and appreciates you, it is hard to keep giving encouragement to others. This is basic and it's so important. So don't miss the next episode. Subscribe to the channel and tap the bell so you won't miss it. I promise it will be good for your soul. And so far, thank you for watching. And remember, your child's emotional strength starts with you. So take care of yourself, take care of your kids, and see you in the next video.